in 1923, Martin Buber is writing about a worldwide dialogue. And to think that in 1923, Buber is talking about worldwide dialogue, and then we come along in the late 80s, early 90s, and we invent the World Wide Web. But our calling now in the 2020s, we have the web, we don't yet have the dialogue. And our challenge to the architects, the designers, and the builders is to really help us facilitate not just connection in the ordinary sense, but meaningful dialogue, and to ask what sorts of platforms, what sorts of interactions would give us this deep dialogue. One of the things just the title tells me is we need more than just regular conversation or broadcast conversation or the kind of conversation that we got in the 2010s with social media. We really need something deeper and more meaningful. And one of the interesting things, it's not just us. It's the structure and the system and the platforms that we build that empower us or disempower us, that enable deep dialogue or disable deep dialogue. And so our real responsibility and our real calling for the 2020s is to build platforms, virtual reality, augmented reality, extended reality architectures that facilitate not just ordinary dialogue, but deep dialogue. So I like to come in at the end, and I kind of like to zoom out and just soak in the ambiance and come back to what we talked about earlier about beauty and our calling to create beauty. And so right now we have 9 people in virtual reality in the Interverse, and we have a backlog of 591 or 600 or so authors and wonderful people who we haven't yet put in there. But we envision in the coming months and certainly throughout 2022 to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And you'll be able to walk down the aisle and you'll be able to do anyone's algorithms. We're going to have this up in, we're going to have this hopefully in April or May, or certainly by spring or summer. You'll be able to come in and ask the Interverse, hey, I'm looking for algorithms on peace or love or anxiety or stress. And it'll actually be able to recommend algorithms, not just by people. We started with people because everything starts with people. But you can also search by the area of interest that you have, the areas of concerns, the areas that you're working on, your areas of accountabilities. You'll have an accountability partner, and there's so much that you can work on. And this is 1.0 of Martin Buber in the Interverse. Oh, and I love we have this whole meditation section in our home, and then we come over and we spin around the other way. Oh, and then this is just one level. You actually can keep climbing and climbing and climbing. I forgot to look up. There's a whole Interverse that goes up and up and up. And one of the beautiful metaphors that we haven't even touched on yet is the exercise and the body movement that we get when we come into the Interverse. You know, it's not just cognitive, it's whole body movement. And it's actually a form of exercise. So we have stretching algorithms where you'll stretch and you'll stretch and you'll stretch. And we have climbing algorithms where it's a climb. And you think the metaphor, what was once a metaphor, is now reality. It's like you can step inside the metaphor. So when someone had a great line of poetry and they talked about life as a climb, and you keep feeling like you're climbing, well, now you're actually going to come in and do algorithms as you climb. Right? So you're going to engage your body in this whole body movement. Annie Murphy Paul's work, really, we're going to engage that with a different thing. And as you come up and up and up, you see more and more and more that reveals itself to you.